Welcome to Influence This. I'm your host, Travis Tom. I'm the co-founder of Elevated Real Estate Marketing, a Facebook marketing company for the real estate industry. We run campaigns all across the world, and we get to see a lot of data, a lot of campaigns. We've generated over several 100,000 leads over the past couple of years. And with that, we get to see what works, what doesn't work. The data, understanding the numbers, conversion strategies, Facebook ad campaigns versus Instagram campaigns, everything in between. And with that data, we love to share the information and help people understand how they can be successful with their own Facebook ad campaigns. So join me as we dive in from conversion strategies to lead magnets to optimizing your Facebook ad campaigns to strategies that are working right now and how to keep updated and moving forward to win more clients and more business using the advanced campaigns that we use that you can actually deploy yourself. All right, let's dive in. All right, hey everyone, this is Travis Tom with Influence This. Today I want to talk to you about the learning phase inside of your Facebook or Instagram campaigns. Whichever placement you're running it on, doesn't matter. Every ad, every campaign goes through what's called a learning phase. And a learning phase, you may see it on your ad manager when you're creating a campaign and you just launched it. Might be a couple hours later, or a couple minutes, you might see a kind of a little yellow notification and it says, hey, the learning phase, right? This campaign is going through a learning phase. So what does that mean? Well, this is an important phase because the learning phase is going through essentially that. It's learning. It is using Facebook's machine learning in its own algorithm to find people in your audience that are going to interact with a campaign, right? That are most likely to actually take the specific action on the objective that you've chosen. If it's video views, right? Well, it's going to find people that watch videos to a certain percentage of the time that's been optimized for your campaign. Or if it's traffic, they're going to try and find people that are engaging enough to click on your ad and go to your landing page and actually wait for the landing page to load. Right, those kind of things. Lead generation, same thing. So it's going through this phase to try and find the right people in the audience. But it's also learning is the ad image and ad creative, is everything that you've uploaded significant enough to actually make an impact, right? So during that learning phase, it goes through, it tries to find the low-hanging fruit. What I mean by that is trying to find the people inside of your campaign that will take specific action that are the most ideal prospects. And you might see a spike of 2 to 5 people, interacting that might be leads or they might click and all of a sudden you see a spike in it and then it drops off. Well, those drop-offs are peaks and valleys in the learning phase. It's completely natural. It's going through that learning phase. What you don't want to do, this is a common mistake I see a lot of people make, is that they then go and start to edit the learning phase. They start to edit the campaign. They don't see the results they want because they're impatient or they don't have a true understanding how Facebook works. And so all of a sudden 3 or 4 days have passed and they're like, I haven't gotten any leads. I haven't gotten any messages. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I've spent 60 or 80 bucks, whatever it might be. And so you start to go in and you edit the audience or you edit the headline or you go and you change out the image, right? So if you start with the campaign budget or the strategy, or you change any of the ads or you change the ad sets or you change the targeting, change the placement, any of that, what that's going to do is that's going to essentially pause the learning phase and then it has to start all over again and relearn. And then as it's go through the secondary learning phase, well, now it's trying to relearn and start from the very beginning. And now, same thing, you might get impatient. You might get frustrated because it's not getting results. So you go in, you change things again, and boom, guess what? Starts it all over again, right? Learning phase gets reset, and you got to go through that. You want to go through the learning phase as fast as possible. And to do that is to, one, not touch anything in the ad. Sometimes it takes a learning phase 3 to 5 days, right, to actually learn and get enough data. It also depends on how much your budget is and what the audience size is. If the audience size is really small and you're still spending a lot of money, well, it's probably not going to learn that fast because it's a small audience. It doesn't have enough data points to really pull from. It needs more data. Facebook feeds off of data, right? You need to give it enough room, enough data, enough budget to actually grow, learn, and scale. So here's a good rule of thumb. Do not touch the ads for the first 3 to 5 days. And then if you do touch the ads, if you change targeting, budget, ad spend, right, ad creative, whatever it is, you've got to have a reason why. And it has to be a reason backed by data so that you can make educated decisions that are actually going to deliver results. If you go in there and just start playing with things just because you're not seeing results or you are bored or you think you are going to get better results by pushing different buttons, well, you need to have some sort of data to back it, right? Why are you making that decision? Why are you changing that image? Do you know if that image has a higher click-through rate, right? Are you reading the data? Are you actually getting a solid understanding that this ad campaign needs more data for us to get a really big picture? So Facebook, when I've said this a lot of times, it's not playing the long game. You got to figure out that Facebook is going to deliver results later on. You got to be patient. You got to have the cash to spend. You got to be patient, right? You got to be willing to sit through some of the times where you're going to question if it actually works to actually see the results, not just on follow-up and nurturing leads and all those kind of things, but also campaign statistics and campaign performance, right? It does take time. So that first phase, that learning phase, it's critical. It's important. That learning phase will basically build the entire trajectory of the campaign based on what it's going to learn. So if it gets skewed and messed up and you keep changing things because you aren't getting results you want, well, it's just going to deliver a really bad campaign. It's not going to deliver the results that you want. So don't touch those ads. Sit on your hands. Do whatever you can. And also, short-term campaigns, 5-7 days, typically aren't going to deliver the results you want. 10 days, maybe, it depends on your objective that you're trying to go for. So if you're just running short sprint little campaigns that are 10 days or under and you're not seeing the results you want, that's why. They're still stuck in a learning phase. All right, there you go. That's the learning phase. Hope you guys found it useful, and talk to you soon.